I had to call this little nod for my good friend SpongeBob SquarePants striped sweater. The best time to wear a striped sweater. No, I want to stripe my shirt. Is all the time. One with the collar, turtleneck. That's the kind. So when you're wearing don't you like a striped sweater? I make it from my tears, from my eyelashes. Squidward doesn't like it. That was pathetic. Yes, I only have one stripe on my sweater, though, but I don't know why. It's me pulling out all my old winter clothes yesterday, getting ready, because, guys, it's snowing here in Pittsburgh. Well, let me see. I haven't looked outside for a little bit. How heavy is it right now? Not really too heavy, but there's a good dust on the ground. If you are, of course, in the Pittsburgh area and you still go to school, might be facing a 2-hour delay tomorrow or something like that. Good thing it's not Saturday because I have a wedding on Saturday, and I don't know if the bride and groom will want to take photos outside in the snow. But, yeah, so my little special entrance tonight, thanks to my good friend SpongeBob SquarePants, singing one of his favorite songs, Striped Sweater. Well, once again, there's only one stripe on my shirt, but, you know, that's what I thought when I threw sweater. I'm like, you know what? Striped sweater. Save that for this stream. But guys, what is going on? This is the Club with the Man 19 cards. Actually, first off, hold on. I need to put my phone on charge. My battery's at 20%. And also, if I randomly get up for a second here, I'm just charging the batteries, the camera batteries for my cameras I had to borrow for my gig on Saturday. Still have all these things to charge, which, you know, is why I like to get them a day earlier. That way, you know, I don't have to get on Friday, and I'm rushing. And plus, too, I have stuff going on tomorrow. But yes, guys, we are live for my top 10 special of the week. Sorry, it's a little bit later than I wanted to, but I had some other stuff I was helping doing as we're getting ready for the holiday, whatnot. Had to get some stuff done around the house. But we are live for my top 10 best and worst segments of all time. Now, of course, you know, going back and trying to make this list, it was a little bit tough because I'm thinking, okay, do I want to stick more to like, you know, a whole segment or just like a solo promo and whatnot? We kind of got a little bit of both here, whatnot, for the most part. This was a tough list to make. There were a lot of good segments I remember. There was a good amount of bad segments I remember as well. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of honorable mentions. Now, of course, before I check the live chat, anyone who's in the live chat, I will ask right now, should I do the best or should I do the worst ones first? Usually, I'm the type of guy who likes to start off with the worst first and on a positive note. But I don't know. I don't know which of these are going to be more entertaining to talk about, the best or the worst. So you guys be the pick there. So one segment I will throw out there right now that I did not include on the worst segments of all time is Bailey, This Is Your Life. And I still can't say anything about that segment because to this day, just like WWE Crown Jewel, I have never seen that segment. Luckily, at the time, I was gladly taken on a date that night. And when I heard apparently how bad that segment was, I'm like, that is one segment I'm not going to even bother going back and watch. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I did try to watch it first, but it was literally edited out of the YouTube clip. They only showed the part where Bailey came out trying to brawl with Alexa Bliss. But so because of that, I never even bothered going back and trying to watch that full segment because of how bad I heard it was. And I never went back at all and watched any of WWE Crown Jewel. So yeah, I cannot judge that segment. So that's why that segment is not on my list. Just to get that disclaimer out there right now. Let's check the live chat and see what we got here. We've got Robbie. The boy cries, "You a sweater of tears," and you kill him. Nice one, Robbie. What's up, Robbie? Yes, Larry, we got snow here. Should we be a gentleman or should we apologize? Should we apologize? Robbie says, do the worst first. Yeah, do the worst. I'll bet Alicia Fox screaming, no I am, no I am, no I am, will make your worst list. I mean, I was going to put that in, but that's part of a match. And I don't want to really include matches on segments lists. Like if it was a match, like I would definitely put it on the list. But a background segment, definitely an honorable mention. Put that one out there. Just like why I almost put on the list, because again, I haven't seen everything from Raw and SmackDown from the past. Of course, some late bloomer, but I've seen some stuff that I'm either cracked up with, or some stuff I'm like, this is complete trash. So there's some older stuff on this list. But something else that I saw that I never got to see firsthand that I saw was John Cena versus Michael Cole in 2012. Remember that, guys? That's 6 minutes of pain, apparently. I didn't include that on this list because I thought that was more so just, of a match and like a segment. But yeah, Alicia Fox screaming, "No am," is definitely a good honorable mention. But again, it took place during a match. But both of my viewers, Larry and Rob, you're telling me to do the worst first. So, okay, I will grant your request, and I will go ahead and do so. So, guys, feel free to also leave some of your honorable mentions down below, down in the description box as well. Well, in the live chat. What the fuck am I saying? The description box or in the not the description box, the live chat, or if you watch this one afterwards, in the comments section. So let's get started here with my worst. With my worst of all time. And first off, Larry said, "I love the old Chris Jericho let the boobies hit the floor" segment with Stephanie McMahon. I actually have never seen that segment. I didn't know that existed until now. I'm going to have to go back and check that out, see if I can find that. But thanks for mentioning that, Larry. But guys, list some of your memorable segments, whether they're best or the worst. Either way, I look forward to reading them in the comments section. So let's, of course, start off with the first 5 of my top 10 worst segments of all time that I can come up with. Here we go. Number 10, Tamina repeating Charlotte on SmackDown Live. Most of you might know what I'm referring to. This took place last year on SmackDown. It was during, I can't remember if it was either during the build for the women's Money in the Bank match, or if it was the build to that fatal 5-way number 1 contenders match where the winner got a women's championship match with a SmackDown Women's Championship at SummerSlam, which Natalya will go on to win. We all know Carmella won both of the Money in the Bank ladder match, but they redid it a second time because of the whole concept of James Ellsworth taking it, which that I thought was kind of where the downfall of SmackDown went. I can't remember if it was either the build for Money in the Bank or the build before that a fatal 5-way match for Battleground, that dreadful pay-per-view in 2017, and it never came back afterwards. They put Extreme Rules in its place instead. But so what am I talking about here? So of course the 5 of them were like firing the shots at each other, pretty much, just the hype for whichever the match was going to be and whatnot. Natalya, I remember, went off on something. I can't remember what she said, and like Charlotte's like, "Natty, natty, natty," and the coach told her off by saying, "Shut up before you start looking like Ellsworth." Tamina, who hasn't said a peep this entire segment, takes the microphone, and the crowd is somewhat into the segment. But Tamina takes the microphone and goes, "Hey, Charlotte, shut up before you start looking like Ellsworth." You literally could have heard a pin drop in the entire arena. The crowd just went silent. It wasn't like Tamina said something like, "Hey, Charlotte, why don't you shut up before you start looking like Ellsworth?" Pretty much trying to fire back. Yes, a weak way, but still, it sounds more realistic. Tamina literally took the microphone, and the tone in her voice sounded like she made that up herself. "Hey, Charlotte, shut up before you start looking like Ellsworth." The same exact way. And literally the crowd just went silent. The woman who is now pairing with Nia Jax, and they're both getting some big-ass Samoan push on Raw. Huh? Literally, that's the best you were able to come up with there. You had nothing else to say, so you literally repeated Charlotte. You just killed all the momentum going in that segment. It wasn't really like, one of the best segments of ever, of course, but the crowd was, somewhat into it. That right there was just a killer. And it stands out in my memory, and it just makes me sour even more and more onto me. Like, I'm sorry. Yes, the woman is big. I liked what she was doing when she was teaming up with AJ Lee and was being kind of her best friend, her, just helping her out of her jams towards the end of AJ's Divas Championship reign. But then she literally disappears for God knows how long. She came back paired with sorry, not with herself. I'm botching now. With Naomi. She disappears again for almost a year, comes back after the 2017 Superstar Shakeup. Introduced at first as a daughter of a Hall of Famer. I think it was going to be Charlotte. Well, Charlotte was eventually, brought out as, news member of SmackDown Live, which I thought she needed to go to SmackDown and get something fresh for her to do. They brought out Tamina, of course. And she literally just did nothing. Her and Lana was going to make her ravishing again. Where did that ever go? Nowhere. She had one squash match, and then afterwards they did absolutely nothing with it. I'm sorry. The woman just can't do it, especially that segment right there. Literally repeating Charlotte's line. And again, it's not just the fact that she repeated Charlotte's line. It's the fact that she said it in a way that made it sound like that she was the one who came up with that. Again, when I was better, she should have at least said, hey, Charlotte, why don't you shut up before you start looking like Ellsworth? Pretty much trying to, again, that's weak, but it would make a little more sense than, saying, hey, Charlotte, you better shut up before you start looking like Ellsworth. Again, literally just acting like she came up with that. Pathetic. Completely pathetic. And it literally just killed everyone in the crowd. The crowd was dead silent. As I said before, you could have literally heard a pin drop when that happened. In my opinion, one of my least favorite segments of all time, which is why it is number 10 on my list. Kind of a weak pick, but definitely worthwhile. But that is my number 10 on this list. Number 9, Roman Reigns, Jack and the Beanstalk. There were several Roman Reigns segments that I've definitely thought about putting on this list. Another good honorable mention, of course, is I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Yeah, you know what? No, I am sorry. I'm not sorry. See, I botched right there as well. But look at you guys. You're so full of yourself. Actually, you're full of something else. You are a sniveling little full of suffering, full sellout suffering succotash, son. Yeah, I know. That was not easy to say. My brother here, he's got donkey dong for brains. Okay. What I'm trying to say is I'm going to kick your ass. That's an honorable mention, of course. And, of course, another one that comes to mind is definitely the go-home segment with him and Sheamus, the whole Professor Tater Tot thing. That segment just dragged forever. It was like a 20-minute segment, and then it's just like, oh, I'm not going to the ring because I know you're going to throw that ladder at me and whatnot. They argued for 20 minutes before they started brawling. It was pathetic. Of course, a few other ones as well that were badly scripted. But to me, the worst one of all was Jack and the Beanstalk. Roman Reigns came out and he was in the middle of a feud with the Big Show. Remember that ongoing feud, guys? The match at Extreme Rules they had, which wasn't too bad of a match at Last Man Standing match. They had Extreme Rules. I'll give them credit. That was not a bad match at all. That was supposed to be the main event of Fastlane, apparently, before the whole backlash happened after the 2015 Royal Rumble. But of course, we got that match how many times? And then the Big Show, which again, that 2015 run of him as a heel, god awful. Cutting some of the worst promos of his career as well. Coming up saying, "Oh, you're all a bunch of losers." There's a difference between, a heel pretty much calling you a loser, but not sounding like a 5-year-old kid, pretty much saying that's the best you got. That's what Big Show sounded like with those promos in 2015. That's Jinder Mahal level of, haven't gotten there yet. We'll get to that in a little bit, pretty much. But it's pretty much one of those, is that the best you got lines. From a big 7-foot giant. That's why I hated that run he had as a heel in 2015. Roman Reigns came out, and Big Show just walks away because he is a coward and whatnot, just because, he's how much bigger than Roman Reigns. He comes out, says himself how he was looked up to him, whatnot, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, hey, can I tell you a story, Big Show? And he goes on to pretty much do some parody of Jack and the Beanstalk. Like, once upon a time, there was a little boy named Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns, he found magic beads. And he pretty much just like, goes on and on about making this like a big, parody of his of this, just pretty much just a longer version of saying, I'm gonna beat you up when I'm this wham bam, thank you, ma'am. It's literally on the same level as trying to put comedy into somebody who's more meant to be just a badass, smug looking guy, rather than just some guy telling these fairy tales, for crying out loud. That's what made Roman Reigns run in 2015 so bad. Heck, 2016, of course, he was overbooked, but of all the segments, that's got to be the worst one. And to wash this bad taste of Roman Reigns, Jack and the Beanstalk out of our mouth, let's actually read a little story our good friend Robbie left me on Twitter a few days ago. Why are the most random people trying to follow me on Instagram, by the way? I don't know who Rick Chardone is. Anyways, I'll worry about that later. But let's pull up this story that Robbie has shared this. And I'm going to put my phone back on charge. I want it to charge. All right, come on. Load. I'll check the live chat again in a little bit, guys. Let's see here. All right. I'm going to literally say this. I'm never deleting this story, Robbie. All right. Can I tell you a story, YouTubers? Once upon a time in a land far, far away, there lived a little girl named Ruby Riott. And Ruby Riott, see, she had 2 magic teas in her name. And those 2 magic teas sprouted a giant riot squad. So little old Ruby she teamed with that riot squad. And would you like to know what they did? They trashed the Bella Twins locker room, threw food at Natalia's locker room door, and beat up Sasha and Bailey for being best friends. But oh no! Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan kept losing matches. So Ruby Riott said, "Screw Liv and Sarah. I'm gonna kick these bitches square in the mouth. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. The Riot Squad's teeth are down their throat." Once again, brought to you by our very own Robbie One Kenobi. But yes, so much more entertaining than Big Show trying to pretty much say how he's going to overcome a giant. A big, Samoan tough guy, 6'3", 265 pounds, looking like a killer. But no, he's telling fairy tales. Does not fit at all whatsoever. And once again, let's wash that sour taste out of my mouth. Definitely, again, one of several terrible segments Roman Reigns had during his mega push, which I can't say is going on now because he's away to leukemia. So once again, prayers for Joe Aniwai as always. But that segment was bad. And so was, suffering suckage to Tash. Some of his backstage said like fashion as being bullet pow, or how he botched that segment when he returned at TLC to pretty much just announce that he was the first to enter in a Royal Rumble, and I'm the first one to declare at the Royal Rumble match. If you thought what I did last year was dangerous, wait till you see what I do this year. You eliminated 4 people. And yeah, we're not going to go into that. But that's number 9. Roman Reigns, Jack, and the Beanstalk. Number 8. Jerry the King Lawler's family reconciliation with the Bella Twins in 2014. Oh, man. This feud was just an absolute disaster. Not because of just the fact that they literally tried to split up twin sisters and feud each other. That was worth a try what they did. Obviously, Nikki Bella got the easiest heat from, at the time, betraying her sister with the one woman who probably had the most heat on her out of all the ladies because of, all she had been doing to Brie Bella's husband for the past year. And of course, with Daniel Bryan on the shelf, Brie was doing all she could to stand up for what Stephanie had done to her family. Of course, we all know Nikki Bella turned heel at SummerSlam 2014. And just started pretty much just saying, Brie was never a true sister to me, which, somewhat true is to say because of the fact that, Brie, did what was best for her and her husband. But of course, Nikki had to suffer through all the pain afterwards. And Nikki seemingly got sick of it. But once again, with all due respect to the Bella twins, they just do not fit in with this generation at all. I mean, this is still the Divas generation because we're still getting 30-second matches during this time. Well, somewhat better because this is also in the midst of the AJ Lee and Paige feud, which Nikki Bella did get involved in the triple threat match at Night of Champions that year. But then Nikki, of course, won the title at Survivor Series. And she held it for 301 days. Despite AJ Lee. Because who's she married to? Oh, that's right, CM Punk, who calls her Ape. But there were two segments that were just god-awful. The second one was kind of a repetition of this first one. The second one was a segment with Jerry Springer coming to help them. And these two, who were just awful acting to begin with. And it wasn't just that. But the fact that also is these two were on Total Divas as well, the big stars of Total Divas, being best friends still at the same time of these segments. And Nikki literally, in this first one, it was Jerry the King Lawler trying to, bring peace between two of them. Nikki had none of it. Brie was instantly crying, but the crying was so fake, as you could tell. It was just god-awful acting. Nikki continues just to rip into Brie, saying how, oh, Brie stole all my boyfriends. Brie did all this. It just sounded so fake. Like, it wasn't realistic, god-awful acting. And, of course, the worst part of it all, Nikki Bella, pretty much before she started... Sorry, I dropped the microphone and mic, as Larry calls it. Before Brie, Nikki physically assaulted Brie, she gets right in her face and says, I have no sister. I wish you died in the womb. You serious? People get in arguments, but you go that far with saying you wish they died in the womb? Like, how on earth can you ever forgive somebody for that? And then, of course, they have that god-awful match at Hell in a Cell where the loser become the winner's personal assistant for 1 whole month, or else they're going to have to leave the company. And then a month later, Brie Bella just turns heel for no reason and pretty much just mocks what happened at WrestleMania 28. Where with Brie kissing AJ Lee, which was awkward looking as hell. And Nikki Bella beats her, and then that's what started that reign. But that segment is, in general, that fan recognition, just god-awful acting. Like, I wish you died in the womb? And then later that week, Total Divas, they love each other and they're best friends. Like, how do you forgive someone for saying that? If my sister ever told me, well, then again, we're not twins, but I wish mom you would have died before mom gave birth to you or something like that. My sister told that to me, I'd be crushed. I don't know how I could forgive someone for that. The acting, though, was just atrocious. Like, the choice of words saying, it's like, how do you come back from that? You just, put the burden on it big time with you going as far as saying that. Terrible. Just absolutely terrible. And that's why it is my number 8 for my worst segments of all time. Number 7, the revealing of the anonymous general manager in 2012. I wasn't watching wrestling full time during the time of the anonymous general manager, of course. But seeing, parts of the pay-per-views and a few other Raws here and there, it was just apparent to me that this was annoying. Especially since this also was mixed in during a time where they were trying to experiment with Michael Cole as a heel commentator. That was just so annoying. As I said before, you can be a heel and be an effective heel. But when you're just being annoying and just pissing everyone off just because you can, pretty much, just to a point where it's like you don't want to see them be on the TV, such as Michael Cole or even at times, no offense, Stephanie McMahon. then we've got a problem here. And that's exactly what the anonymous general manager was. Of course, I don't know who wanted a better reveal to be to be behind all of this, because I mean, it could have led to something like some type of feud based off people trying to get revenge on what the anonymous general manager was doing all the time. But once again, just like the whole stuff with Roman Reigns and Jack and the Beanstalk and all that, a lot of these bad segments seem to be because Vince tries to bring a comedy side out of it. But the problem Vince needs to realize is comedy is not for everyone. And he, in the end, the whole time, the anonymous general manager was someone that's been used for nothing but commentary, and it's just got so old. Everything I've seen this guy involved with, not because of his height or nothing. I have nothing against this person because of him being small and whatnot. It's just he never really was entertaining to me. Hornswoggle. Hornswoggle was revealed to be the anonymous general manager. It's one of those moments that kind of like really like, let the air out of the bag, because like, who's going to benefit from that? Who? Now, I know some people probably mentioning also, what about Jason Jordan being revealed to be Kurt Angle's son? That was more like a letdown. I wouldn't say it was completely god-awful. I mean, yes, it was definitely one of the worst storylines of the year, because it was a huge letdown. But as far as all time, I wouldn't say it was one of the worst, because Jason Jordan at least could wrestle. And I feel it was starting to lead towards, I feel like, after a while, they were kind of going with the fact that the fans weren't getting behind this and kind of, booing Jason Jordan because of it. And it was going to set up for that heel turn, but then again, he suffered his neck injury, and we haven't seen him since. So his status is still up in the air. But I am just feel like, at least Jason Jordan's out there trying to perform matches. Like Hornswoggle, he's just a comedy act. He's not going to put any matches. It's going to lead to absolutely nothing. So that's why I just thought, it let the air out of the tires a lot more than it did when Jason Jordan was revealed to be Kurt Angle's son. I mean, because at least Jason Jordan was wrestling in opportunities. It's telling some of a story there with him all of a sudden feeling like he can get everything he wants because he goes crying to daddy, even though it got annoying at times. And it pretty much exposed that Jason Jordan had no charisma on the microphone yet, but he was still a great in-ring talent. He had some great matches with John Cena, Roman Reigns. I remember those. A couple other here and there. He put on, again, he could wrestle. It's just, again, like Apollo Crews, the character was just not there. But yeah, Hornswoggle never being revealed to Raw general manager does absolutely nothing. You wasted our time for God knows how long the anonymous general manager was around just for a comedy act to be revealed as a general manager. Nobody benefited from it. Just way to waste our time once again. So that's why the revealing of the anonymous general manager is my number 7 on this list. I'll get to number 6, and then I will check the live chat to see what you guys all have to say. So let's get to number 6. Number 6, Bobby's Sisters from 2018. Wow. This probably would have ranked higher on my list. But the reason why I didn't put it higher up on my list is because from the get-go, from when this was first announced that Sami Zayn was going to be inviting Bobby Lashley's sisters to Raw, we had a whole week to pretty much realize this was going to be bad. We knew it was going to be bad. So, as you all know, Bobby Lashley came back to WWE earlier this year. And I didn't realize it until one of my friends pointed out. I think it was around Backlash, but Bobby didn't really say too much. Other than we seen him in an interview from a backstage Fallout interview on YouTube or whatnot. Just saying he has unfinished business, pretty much. So, okay, but it's like we weren't really getting to know like why he came back. Like, who is Bobby Lashley? Those of us who weren't watching 10 years ago wouldn't know who he is. So he gets interviewed by Renee Young, and all we learned from that interview is Bobby has 3 sisters. Guess what, Bobby? I have 1 sister. Cool. How does it get me behind you as a wrestler? We have something in common. But why should I want to see you wrestle a match? It's because you have 3 sisters. So then some storyline starts off where I guess, either during a match on Raw or at that tag match at Backlash, Sami Zayn was not able, stuff happened that Sami Zayn was not allowed to participate at the Greatest Royal Rumble. Something with Saudi Arabia, I think. I can't remember or whatnot, which is no reason why, I wasn't happy with Crown Jewel, because they had stuff against people besides just women. But anyways, so they covered up by having Sami Zayn use his excuse that Bobby Lashley caused him to not be able to be in the Greatest Royal Rumble because Bobby Lashley gave him vertigo. I'm like, okay, this somewhat makes sense. So then Sami Zayn all of a sudden goes on this rapid thing saying stuff about how Bobby's sisters told him some stuff that we need to know. He wants to expose Bobby Lashley because of his sisters. Well, then the following week, Sami Zayn invites 3 grown men dressed up as Bobby's sisters to come out pretty much to say this nasty stuff about Bobby Lashley. One, we know those are not Bobby Lashley's real sisters. So obviously, what you're saying is BS. It pretty much just made it seem like, once again, another one of those segments where it's like, Sami, is this the best you got? I've seen Sami Zayn cut how many great promos in his career. There was one during his feud with Kevin Owens on the main roster he cut. I can't remember when it was. I think it was a segment with him, Jericho, and Owens. That was just great. That segment where he was trying to, where Mick Foley was saying he was going to trade him to SmackDown for Eva Marie, and he literally just fired in the Foley about how much he wanted to fight Braun Strowman, but Foley was just a sever. Foley just to get the best to come out of Sami. That's a great segment. Even the segment where he explained his actions as to why he saved Kevin Owens. Look, Sami Zayn can be great on the microphone, but when he gets this scripted crap that is only meant to entertain the 73-year-old out of touch idiot in the back, or however old he is, he's nearing 75. I know Vince is nearing 75. Just to entertain him, just his toilet humor in general, such as seeing Bobby Lashley's ass as the best pose and whatnot. Dear Lord. So Bobby comes out, and as always, until he finally turned heel, Bobby was smiling. No matter if people were throwing insults at him, he was smiling and just let everyone beat the crap out of him pretty much. And he just comes out and of course does his usual, Sami, it's good to see you again, buddy. And then starts talking to people like he has actual sisters. Then some brawl breaks out. And my favorite part about that brawl, one of them was wearing a helmet. Bobby Lashley slammed the helmet on the dude's head and punched him in the head. You literally just gave the guy all the protection instead of just punching him in the head with your own fist. And then there was a broomstick involved. He was going or whatnot with the broomstick up between the crotch. It was just all terrible toilet humor. And it made Sami Zayn look terrible, made Bobby Lashley look terrible. Of course, weeks after that, we still got the segment with, Sami Zayn talking about Bobby Lashley's Instagram post was once again, Sami, is this the best you got, buddy? And then the freaking obstacle course. This feud was dreadful. Definitely one of the worst of this year. And this segment in general, just god-awful. Literally. It's like 3 men dressed up in drag just to make the guy in the back laugh his ass off. Well, nobody else was laughing, Vince, because that was god-awful. God-awful, and I don't think Bobby Lashley's recovered since. Yeah, they turned him heel, but he's not getting much anywhere other than having Leo Rush scream out, Lashley, Lashley, and having endless matches with Finn Balor. I wouldn't be surprised if he was the first person eliminated from the Survivor Series match this coming Sunday at Survivor Series. I wouldn't be surprised. But definitely, probably the worst segment so far of 2018, and definitely one of the worst segments of all time. So let's just go over this list, and I will check the live chat. I know we've had some viewers in there. I want to see what you guys have to say. But so far, my 10 worst segments of all time. Number 10 is Tamina repeating Charlotte on SmackDown Live. Number 9 is Roman Reigns Jack and the Beanstalk. Number 8 is Jerry Lawler's family reconciliation with the Bellas. Number 7 is the revealing of the anonymous general manager. And number 6 is Bobby's sisters. And by the way, also, I'm sure there's multiple ones from other people that I could put on this list. But once again, I didn't want to keep repeating the same person over and over and over again. Pretty much. So that's why That's what we got list so far. Well, let's check the live chat and see what we got here. I burped. Let me see where we were at. Right here. Are you kidding me? Shame on you, Mike. I'm sorry again. That should be in this video, to be honest. The Chris Jericho with Stephanie McMahon and the whole boobs thing. I got to check that out, but definitely thanks for mentioning that. Robbie said, hey, Mike, I wouldn't consider it a top 10 choice, but I love the segment when Aleister Black and Zelina Vega's plan came up short. That is right. I didn't include any NXT segments on these lists, but that's definitely a good honorable mention there. That the recent segment also for a best one with Johnny Gargano explaining why he attacked Aleister Black. It was definitely another favorite segment of mine as well. Suffering Succotash, oh God, worst promo ever, it's fine. Lawrence here, sorry she's late. Had to walk my puppies, no worries. Mark said number 9 was funny. Can I tell you a story, Big Show? Wham, bam, thank you, bam. Jinder Mahal level of cringe, you mean? Oh, yes. Again, we'll be talking about him very soon. Lauren says, worst on my lists have to be Suffering Succotash. This is your life with Alexa Bliss and Bayley, which once again, I couldn't put that on this list. Again, I still have not to this day seen this segment. Again, the reason why I did see this episode of Raw is I was out on a date that night. Sometimes, you know, my ex would have let me put on while we were like playing like cards or something. She let me, when I was on TV, she's like, you just want to put it on your show? I'm like, sure, I'll put it on. I went back to watch the highlights that night. I went to watch that segment. It only showed where Bayley came out to beat down afterwards. So I was like, you know what? It must have been that bad. I'm not even going to watch it. So that's why I can't put it on the list. Let's see here. Brock and Roman wrestling. I completely forgot about this. But this is a good honorable mention. But the go home segment to WrestleMania 31, where Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns display tug of war over the title. Dear God, again, just tell me about suspense. That's how you end your show before WrestleMania. Jinder's Shanti segments, however many that there are. Jinder's Battle Royale win. Which Battle Royale win? And Jack and the Beanstalk, yes. Nash and Triple H's segment 2011, which one are you talking about? Leading up to SummerSlam. Leading up to SummerSlam. I'm trying to remember what Nash did before SummerSlam. I know what happened afterwards, but I can't remember what he did before SummerSlam. The Slater and Lesnar I Got Kids segment. You mean I don't give a piss about your kids or whatnot. Robbie, it's been forever. Ruby and the Riot Squad. Oh, yes. All of the Eugene segments with Triple H 2004. I haven't seen the segments, but I saw the match at SummerSlam. Why was that even a thing? Triple H and Eugene. I'm done already. I gotta see that Instagram story. Which Instagram story? The Kiss My Ass Club. Don't remind me about the Kiss My Ass Club. Let's not forget the Daivari and Cena segment in 05 when he said, "You asshole, America." I think I remember seeing that. And also the Wyatt and Matt Hardy alliance. I mean, it could have been a good thing, but again, it just did nothing with them except having them win matches. They won matches, okay, but nothing really. But and that Dick character segment all the time. What Dick character segment? There's a difference between hating a character and a man. Always a character and a man. Always remember that, which definitely is true. How about that scripted promo when Daniel Bryan said he was excited? That also I almost put on that list. Yes. That promo by Daniel Bryan the night after Fastlane 2015, where he pretty much came out and was just saying stuff like, you know, when you won the Royal Rumble, I was kind of like everybody else on the inside. Boo, boo, boo. But then you beat me, so you have my respect. Congratulations. I can't wait to team with Roman Reigns tonight. That was all Vince talking. Daniel Bryan went out there, pretty much had him say what Vince wanted to say to us. You know, well, this is what you wanted, your hero to get a shot at the title, but he lost. So he has to admit that Roman Reigns is the greatest thing of all time. Just the beginning of them doing things to insult our intelligence. The first one was having The Rock come out and try to nerf a positive reaction on Roman Reigns. That did not work, but that's another honorable mention there as well. To everyone, oh yeah, the Bella segment 2014 SummerSlam was cringeworthy. Both of them. What about Eva Marie's entrance in 2016? You mean her wardrobe malfunction and several other crap she did? Oh gosh, imagine if she would have been a women's champion. Ape, how cute! Because her name's April, he calls her Ape. Like I listen to interviews, and he just says Ape and I. This cracks me up. When you think of AJ Lee, some small attractive woman, and you call her Ape, like I don't see a big hairy woman or anything. Pretty much. The Santina segment. Oh God, don't even remind me about Santina after Mania 25 being crowned Miss WrestleMania. That was an epic fail. Let's not forget the segment with Steph and Vicky when Vicky got fired. Oh, when Vicky threw Stephanie into that pool of shit, whatever it was. And worse about the Cole apologized to Lawler in 2012 to get back on commentary. Well, the thing was, keep in mind this. Cole apologized to Lawler a couple months after their feud ended, but he still did the same crap until Jerry the King Lawler suffered a heart attack on Raw. And, of course, did the same crap with JR. But, of course, we're going to talk about JR here later on also because there's a segment that I saw. And it was an older segment, but it pissed me off big time. Yay, Mike of Mike. Every Bella's promo was cringeworthy. Every Stephanie promo was cringeworthy. Some have been all right. But, again, when she's just being just, just burying talent verbally all the time and getting no comeuppance on her, that does get old. The best segments have to be Stone Cold Beer Truck, where it explodes on everyone, which I actually have that on my list. That's a good honorable mention. AJ Lee's pipe bomb on the Divas Division and the Bellas, another honorable mention. Punk's pipe bomb, the vote of no confidence, 2011. That's a good one too. And next is debut. Oh man. Oh yeah. And growing up Bella, that was awful. Orton and Triple H Batista segment in 2014 with the stipulation of Mania 30. Rollins turning heel on the Shield. Which Nikki Bella heel turn do you think was the worst because of how clearly obvious it was? SummerSlam 2014 or recently leading into Evolution? That's really tough. Which one do I consider the worst? I mean, everything around the one this year's made no sense to me. They literally just came back out of nowhere acting like Ronda's best friend. And once again, what I still didn't get is that it said they wanted to be leader of this women's evolution, but like I'm saying that they were divas and whatnot. Jeez. I mean, I say the one in 2014, like it could have led to something, good. I mean, I know we kind of expected it, but of course, the one for Evolution, I say I'll give it to the one for Evolution. I would say was a little bit worse than the other one. Comedy is not for Vince's comedy is not for everyone. You got that right, Larry. Cena and Punk's contract signing, that's a good honorable mention. Orton and Christian promo for SummerSlam and Money in the Bank, those were pretty good. Punk becoming a Heyman guy and Rock turning heel in 2003, not too bad. Vince's idea of commentary. Orton attacking the McMahon family and IED disorder in 2009. Cena Batista segments in 2010, they weren't too bad. Of course, also you gotta throw in there Triple H breaking into Randy Orton's home. DX messing with Vince's mic. The anonymous GM reveal was a huge letdown. Jordan revealed as Kurt's son in the whatever the heck, son of Vince. In 07 was also bad. Lashley's segment showing off his body in 08. 18 was also lame. Vince's car blown up was a good segment too, except for the fact that whole angle had to be dropped because of the death of Chris Benoit. I'm curious to see if Edge Lita's live sex celebrations on the list. It was not, unfortunately, but that's a good honorable mention. Bobby's pretty much a failure living in a trash can. He's Bobby Trashley. Oh man, Larry's firing the shots tonight. Edge and Lita's celebration should be there. It was one of the ranked in the highest segments, about 6. I know. What about Mickey's heel psycho gimmick? That was good as well. Truth's heel turn, bad, but it's Mike's personal list, so I'm not sure if that segment had importance to him. Oh, true. I'll support whatever he has. Festival of Friendship was weird, she said. We'll talk about that maybe later on. Cena, Ambrose, and Styles segment in 16 was great. Yes, that one as well. That's an honorable mention. Festival of Friendship was definitely awesome. Maybe because Jericho's his favorite wrestler. R-Truth. Yeah, R-Truth, when he turned heel, he started smoking a cigarette too randomly. Is that going to put titles around the waist, little Jimmy? I don't think so, little Jimmy. You're going to get got. Again, Truth as a heel, though, was good. But, of course, that all got interrupted because of his violation policy. Yeah, the Big Show's Authority run was terrible. Orton playing games with Wyatt and the Authority in 15 and 17 was amazing as well. Well, it's the turn show for sure. Y2J on Stephanie was always good. Jericho and Stephanie together in a segment equals gold. What about Orton Pipe Bomb on Enhancement? Oh, that segment. Well, the whole segment was an honorable mention, but definitely one of my favorite insults or lines of all time. No enhancement needed. Definitely. Let's see here. That was definitely really good. I've never seen let the boobies hit the floor segment. I've never seen that segment, but I will check that out. Punk and Jeff Hardy drug segment in 09. That was an honorable mention. DX turning on China was good. One more time because I love Nikki Cross. I know. That stuff was great as well. Kane's split personality. What year was that again? For some reason, I absolutely love Kane's split personality run. Emelina. Oh, don't get me started on Emelina. That's an honorable mention. Yeah, Corporate Kane was awful. When he was Corporate Kane and Demon Kane combined, that storyline was god awful. The Maddox and Orton segment was gold. I'm not sure we're talking about that. Orton attacking Cena's dad was good, but then they kind of did it too many times. Lay Cole segments, haven't seen it in a while. The Karma segments was cringeworthy. Santino trying to do the Molina split in 08. Kind of forgot about that one. Ross getting fired by the McMahons. Ross and Cole heel turn. Authority formations. Nia promo on Ronda. Which one? Sasha and Bayley reunion. Tamina and Santino romance. Wait, what? Tamina and Santino had romance? Ugh. Hornswoggle being revealed as Vincent's son, definitely. Team 2 happy. Stone Cold and McMahon segments. There's one on this list. I know. The Authority turning on Orton and Rollins. Kind of your face when you do it is so creepy. What? I know. Or whatnot. But that's a good list so far, I say, guys. I gotta say, we're still on the worst. We still have the best ones to get to, but let's get out to my top 5 worst segments of all time. Let's get to them right now. So far, again, we have Tamina repeating Charlotte on SmackDown Live. Roman Reigns, Jack and the Beanstalk. Jerry Lawler's family reconciliation with the Bellas. The anonymous GM revealed. Bobby's sisters. And, okay, number 5. We're on number 5 now. This one was no excuse. Excuse me. This one, there's another segment on this list from 2016 that's a little bit higher on this list. But this one I remember mentioning at first was my worst segment of the year for 2016. But I still think now the other one I mentioned a little higher up this list is. But let's get to this segment. Remember this segment, guys? November of 2016. It was a couple weeks before Survivor Series. We were in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Whose hometown is that? Brock Lesnar. It was right in the midst of the Brock Lesnar and Goldberg feud. I don't remember what all was said during this segment, but I remember that apparently the concept, I think it was November 9th, 2016. I think that was a date. But the whole idea behind this segment was to get Brock Lesnar booed in his hometown. A segment with Paul Heyman, who's freaking gold on the mic. You always love what Heyman has to say. This segment was literally, they were trying to get Brock to get booed in his hometown. And what looked sloppy about it is they pretty much just abruptly stopped this segment because he was pretty much told in his ear, end this, pull the plug on it, it's not working. What an embarrassment to the company, I gotta say. It's like, you got, did anyone and the creative team sit down and say, hey guys, you know he's from Minnesota. They're not going to boo him. With Goldberg and Brock Lesnar, it didn't have to be so much about face and heel. It had to be just themselves. Goldberg coming back saying he feels like he has one last ass whooping in him. Of course, he went on longer just to do a little bit more because he just wanted to completely erase a wrong in his life. Which again, I respect Goldberg for that run we wanted to do. Not everything was perfect in the run, but I respect that. But they're really trying to get people to cheer Goldberg and boo Brock Lesnar. Like, Seth Rollins, he was a heel. Whenever they were in Iowa, wherever they were, he got the biggest pops ever. Roman Reigns actually got good pops when he went to Pensacola. The Miz got good pops when he was in his hometown. Buddy Murphy's supposed to be a heel. He got a huge pop in Melbourne, Australia last month at the Super Showdown. And thank God he won the championship there because he most definitely deserved it. And yes, Brock Lesnar obviously is like the ultimate bully pretty much in WWE. But he's loved in Minnesota. They were not going to boo him whatsoever. A Paul Heyman segment was awful because literally the goal behind it was to get Brock Lesnar booed in his hometown. Just terrible. Just an embarrassment with how they kind of just pulled the plug on it. It's kind of like it kind of reminded me because I've just watched the highlights from this as I've heard about how bad this was. It's kind of like when again I don't watch TNA, but a couple small things I heard about. I went back, I looked up on like YouTube, want to see. It's kind of like whenever the Jeff Hardy and Sting match happened. I think it was in 2011, where Eric Bischoff pretty much had to come out there, and it was pretty much revealed he just came out there, not storyline wise, just to tell Sting and Jeff Hardy, hey, we're going to end this match quickly because you're in no condition to wrestle. And it was just a black mark on the company. This was kind of a little bit of a black mark as well. It was the fact that you pretty much just revealed that, hey, we failed. We couldn't battle around it. Especially with Paul Heyman. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. You literally couldn't even get him to battle around this. Just an embarrassment how they just pulled the plug on this segment like they did. Just a god-awful embarrassment. But yeah, that is on this list for sure at number 5. Brock Lesnar being attempting to get booed in his hometown. That was awful. Number 4. I'm taking a page out of Robbie's book because I remember he called this last year in our year in awards video on Dan's channel. Number 4 is what Robbie likes to call the many faces of Shinsuke Nakamura. Do you guys know what I'm talking about here? I'll set this into perspective. Shinsuke Nakamura comes to the main roster. Feuds with Dolph Ziggler. All right, could have been a little bit better. Got put in Money in the Bank. Didn't expect him to win, but you know what? Give him something to do. Okay. Feuds with Baron Corbin, which I thought was the wrong time for those two to be feuding with each other, based on the positions they were in. And then he beats John Cena clean on SmackDown to earn a shot at the WWE Championship. And who is that champion? Jinder Mahal, the modern-day Maharaja. This should have been where Jinder Mahal dropped that championship. He beat Shinsuke Nakamura in a very unforgettable match at a very unforgettable. in a very forgettable match at a forgettable show, SummerSlam 2017. So then Shinsuke Nakamura beats Randy Orton to get another opportunity at Jinder Mahal at Hell in a Cell. So he wins, of course. So, okay, how are they going to build based off of that? 3 stinking weeks in a row. Jinder Mahal came out with the Singh brothers, and all he could do was just put up pictures of Shinsuke Nakamura's facial expressions on a Titantron. We've already said before, Sami Zayn, is that the best you got? again, with Big Show, the promos he was cutting, it sounded like a 5-year-old giant. Is that the best you got? Jinder Mahal, you are the guy to beat on this show. Well, supposed to be. But we all know you can be beat because, as I've said how many times, they took you and tried to make gold from poop. Again, shout out to one of my least favorite professors in college who said to me once, "You're trying to make gold from poop." But anyways, the best way you can further on a feud that was already awful to begin with was by making fun of someone's facial expressions and his English and whatnot. And I remember he said that one line wherever it was in there that the crowd was start saying that was too far and whatnot. That's where I felt like they really killed Shinsuke, because they literally just made a mockery out of him in his promos with how he can't speak English. That's what's going on with Asuka right now too, making a mockery out of her because she can't speak English that well. Of course, it led to Shinsuke Nakamura going, "Well, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me." And finally, the last photo, it was Shinsuke still, and then he starts moving, says that crap, comes out, and he beats them down, but he was kind of laughing it off pretty much. So I was like, okay, if he would have came out and been god awful angry, I've been angry, because I would be like, is this the best you got, Jinder? Is this the best you got to rattle up your challenger being the heel champion you are? It's just all the segments. Another honorable mention. The segments leading up to WrestleMania 34, trying to get underneath the skin of Randy Orton and Bobby Roode because, oh, Randy, aren't you angry that Bobby is number 5 on the SmackDown Top 10 list and you're number 9? And both of them were just like, really, Jinder? Really? Literally, like earlier when I said with Tamina repeating Charlotte, just one of those segments where it's it just, the crowd just goes silent because it's whatever. Again, they didn't do this just once. They didn't do it twice. They did this 3 weeks in a row. Came out and pretty much did the exact same thing. Said the same crap about Shinsuke, made fun of him. The same brothers were crying loud, were in the ring laughing like a bunch of losers. Just annoyed the heck out of me. And to me, the worst segment, I knocked something over behind my computer. I'm good. To me, the worst segment of 2017, worst segments at least of 2017. There's 3 segments left. This is one of my extra hard drives. Those are behind it, my computer. There's 3 segments left. 2 of them are segments that I never saw live, but I've seen highlights of them. And I saw those. I was like, oh my God, what is this and whatnot. So that's why I thought I can talk about a little bit. But there's one more segment, which is next, that I have seen that I felt that was a really big killer for the people involved in it. Well, for the challengers at least, not for the champions, thank God. Well, someone wounded them, but let's get to it. So here's my number 3. Number 3, All Day. Old Day sucks. Old Day sucks. Old Day sucks. Old Day sucks. This was it for Gallows and Anderson. This was it. They were done after this segment. And keep in mind also, they won the Raw tag titles months after this segment and went on to do nothing but just be fed to Roman Reigns in 2-on-1 handicap matches. They were done after this segment. This was in the midst of a feud. Now, I'll put out this again. I was completely fine with New Day breaking Demolition's record. I was. But truth be told, I really felt they should have dropped the tag titles in the feud with the club. The club came in, targeted the Usos and Roman Reigns, and they won that feud. Gallows and Anderson won the feud. At first, they weren't going to stay aligned with AJ Styles. The AJ Styles kind of babyface was well, I'm not doing anything, but as long as they're here, they can help me out since you guys are coming after me also with the feud with Roman Reigns. And again, that all worked out. When AJ Styles hit a dead end by not winning the WWE Championship, and then of course also with not qualifying for the Money in the Bank ladder match, he had to go a new route. So he reunited with Gallows and Anderson and feuded with John Cena. He went on to beat up John Cena, and him and the Club were killing it together. Killing it! Absolutely. But then the brand split returns. They randomly split up AJ and Gallows and Anderson. Okay, what's up with that? They have, keep in mind this too also. Enzo and Cass were on the same brand as them. And they were part of the winning team in that 6-man tag match at Battleground. But who gets the tag title opportunity all of a sudden? The Club. That's right. Gallows and Anderson, despite losing that 6-man tag match at Battleground, got the tag title shot, and Enzo and Cass didn't. So they start this whole storyline here with ring post-itis and whatnot because they took out Big E, and they're saying they're trying to come up with a cure for ring post-itis. And at first I'm like, this is okay. Like it's all right. But then when Big E returned at SummerSlam, because literally I thought at first when they were going to split up the New Day. I really thought it's when they were going to split up the New Day. It's SummerSlam 2016. I thought Big E this would be the first time that Big E was not involved in a tag title match with them. Because before at this time, Xavier Woods wasn't really being used in the wrestle matches. He was on the side playing the trombone and whatnot. But this is around the time they started using Xavier Woods, which worked for me because it showed that Xavier actually is better in the ring than we thought. I mean, he's not one of the greatest of all time in the ring, but he was better than we thought. The moment that came out, this feud just took a dip. And then when the Dudley Boys retired, like the night afterwards, they started doing segments about the retirement homes. And I'm like, okay, this is really starting to get old. Like, this is not them. This feud was already going downhill. Then this was the killer. They bring out the Old Day. The New Day dressed up as old men, which obviously was not them. It was not believable. It was just garbage. It was not funny at all whatsoever. It wounded the New Day at least, but it just killed the Club right there. That segment right there just killed the Club. Comedy was never meant for Gallows and Anderson. Them going around calling people nothing but a couple of nerds is not them. They should have been coming in there, been badass killers. And they were until this segment. And it absolutely killed them. They never recovered. They never won the tag titles off New Day. They did win the titles off of Sheamus and Cesaro at the Royal Rumble. Once again, they were booked like crap by then, and all they did was got fed the Roman Reigns left and right. Just it could have killed the New Day in general. I felt it wounded them in some ways, but it was not funny. It was not funny. And then, of course, the New Day beat down on the Old Day afterwards. Why? It's supposed to spread the power of positivity. These great entertaining guys supposed to be, and then they bully. They pretty much bully these old men. I don't think they even swung at them first. Just terrible. Kind of the same way with how I mentioned before. When John Cena faced Michael Cole in 2012, Cena was kind of being a bully to Cole in there. Hey, be a star. Don't be a bully. Ask JBL also. John Bully Layfield, thanks to him, Mauro Ranallo's back in NXT, which he's kicking some butt down there, but I missed his voice on SmackDown. Big time. Big time. But yeah, definitely at least the worst modern day segment in the past couple years, I'd say, is Old Day. Now, I did and again, when we did our year in review video, I did have that over. I did have that second to Brock Lesnar being booed in his hometown, but this I feel definitely takes a cake because it just absolutely killed a tag team that came in with all this momentum, and then just like that, boom, it was gone. Just terrible. Absolutely terrible. Number 2. Now again, these last two I know I did not see live. I was not watching back then. But I've seen the highlights. I've done the research on them. I've seen like, what the hell is this? And that's why I had to consider these like cringeworthy and just way too far over the top. Number 2, any of the segments involving the Katie Vick storyline. I think it was 2002. Triple H and Kane were feuding for the championship in the main event scene. apparently there was some storyline about Kane getting in some car accident and his girlfriend or whatnot, Katie Vick, died. And Triple H was kind of like attacking them with that. There was some segment involving some type of like dummy when he said was Katie Vick, which was obviously was not Katie Vick. Kind of that's the best you got. But then the part that was a little too far and offensive, reason why I put this on this list, is Triple H was mocking Kane about how they had sex with each other pretty much. And he goes into a casket wearing a Kane mask with a mannequin and dressed it up to look like Katie Vick. I've not seen everything from this story, of course, but that segment with the casket, like that was too far. Like that's just like invading like personal property. That's something that you don't need to see in everyday life. I mean, yes, of course, people watch porn. Not me. I don't watch porn. People, do all this stuff. But when it gets that far, being a little offensive, like racism or just, I don't know, just like disrespect from the dead, it's just cringeworthy to watch. Like you're mocking the dead pretty much by having someone pretend to have sex with a mannequin in a casket. Like that's just, and plus two, looks like rape. I mean, I know it's TV-14, but he should be in jail. Like Triple H, like in reality, the Triple H character should be in jail, but they're acting like he could get away with that. Cringeworthy to watch for sure. Like definitely one of the worst segments of all time. Again, I don't know what to say about it, but I just remember seeing that segment. And I'm just like, what the hell? And I looked into this feud a little bit more. And I'm just like, what was Vince thinking? Like several things Vince McMahon thinking. Also, another honorable mention. Also, of course, speaking of what Vince is thinking, the segment where he had Trish Stratus bark like a dog and whatnot, that was weird as hell as well. But definitely the Katie Vick segments, especially the one with Triple H in a coffin with a Kane mask, pretending to have sex with a mannequin that he claimed to be Katie Vick. Ugh, this awful stuff, guys. But it's not my number one worst segment of all time. Let's go over the other 9 first before I get to that. Number 10, Tamina repeating Charlotte on SmackDown Live. Number 9, Roman Reigns, Jack and the Beanstalk. Number 8, Jerry the King Lawler's family reconciliation segment with the Bellas. Number 7, the anonymous general manager being revealed. Number 6 is Bobby's sisters. Number 5, attempting to get Brock Lesnar booed in his hometown. Number 4, the many faces of Shinsuke Nakamura. Number 3, the old day. Number 2, Katie Vick. Number 1. I did not see this segment live, but from my research, it took place in 2005. And it just showed that Vince McMahon himself can be quite a bully. Especially when it came to one of our favorite announcers of all time. All the crap Vince McMahon did to him. The part that, I mean, there was a segment where he even mocked him backstage, but this I felt was too far. Number 1 was when Vince McMahon was doing this segment where he was pretending to give someone a colon surgery or something like that. And Jim Ross had just had the same surgery a week ago. And of course, we all know that Vince was always making fun of Jim Ross and being a bully to him. He pretty much starts pulling out pretending to pull out the stuff like, his barbecue sauce. I think pulled out like a replica of his hat or a couple other things as well. And it just, and the thing was too, is this led to absolutely nothing. It led to nothing. No match, nothing. Vince McMahon pretty much just did this just to continue to poke fun at Jim Ross. Just because he felt he could, because, I'm Vince McMahon, damn it. Yes, probably going to get heel on him more, but there's a time when you take things too far. A racial slur, whatever the heck Jinder Mahal said in his Nakamura segments. The Katie Vick stuff was too far there. But literally going on live TV, a company that promotes, don't be a bully, be a star. And you're literally just doing something for no reason for someone that we all know that Vince McMahon, is a bully to pretty much. Mocking his colon surgery. He did a couple other things too, I've heard. I haven't seen everything that he's done to mock Jim Ross. But are you serious? Literally, just disgusted me. One of the bigger insults, I gotta say, that was just too far and just like really goes against what the company stood for. Of course, it wasn't a kid show back then, of course, but still, definitely awful. To me, the worst segment of all time, in my opinion, from the stuff I've seen. But that is the first list, guys, complete. Again, here's my top 10 worst segments of all time. Tamina repeating Charlotte on SmackDown Live. Roman Reigns jacking the Beanstalk. Jerry Lawler's family reconciliation with the Bellas. The anonymous general manager being revealed. Bobby's sisters attempting to get Brock booed in his hometown. The many faces of Shinsuke Nakamura. The Old Day, Katie Vick, and Vince McMahon mocking JR's colon surgery. Let's check the live chat before we get started. Let me see here. Let me see here. Let's see here. Wow, we got a lot to catch up on here. Okay. The anger management's definitely honorable mention there. Flair supporting Sasha after her title win. Shocker. Natty's pipe bomb on Nikki Bella in 2016. That was good. Goldberg return wasn't really too special because we knew it was coming. Sting's debut, that was a nice one. Anger management stuff, and then the start of the Brian's push was the reason I became a Brian fan. Nice. Orton's RKO on Lesnar in 16 was nice. Shane's return, honorable mention. Roman and Cena's War of Words, honorable mention. Miz Taraj, Asuka's heel promo on Ember Moon. I'd say yes, that stuff as well. When Brian was at the dock and had to look at the pictures and it formed a goat face. Oh, Nakamura's knee to face. The Shield reunion was good. Dean's heel turn was good as well. Also, something tells me that Dean Ambrose's brother Ho segment is on this list, on the list of the best segments from Mike. Honorable mention didn't make the segment, but that was funny. Irritable bowel syndrome for Triple H. Scumbag from Seth Rollins. For Kane, it was toothpaste. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Ho! Seth McMahon. Ho! And of course, another honorable mention has to be when Seth Rollins opened up the briefcase, got sprung with the green goo, and of course, Dean Ambrose's priceless face in the crowd, like. That's still the wallpaper, the background, the album cover photo on my phone for Ambrose's Retaliation theme song. But if Ambrose comes up with a new theme song, I am putting that face he made towards Rollins. That is now the cover photo of my Twitter. That's going to be the wallpaper for whenever I download his new theme song. He comes out with one. Orton taking his revenge on Rollins in 15. That was good. I was there that night when Orton pretty much, beat the crap out of Rollins and officially turned him in that 2-on-1 handicap match against Roman Reigns. I was there that night because I was in Pittsburgh. I saw that. Ellsworth aligned with Styles was good. Talking Smack. We'll talk about Talking Smack promos here. I hope you mean last year's Shield reunion. Yeah, last year's probably the Miz and Renee promo. Yeah, that was good when he pretty much just told Renee, you're the one sleeping with him and whatnot. The one with Steen and Seth, that was a goosebump moment. Finn and Jinder segment. I'm not sure which one we're talking about. Rollins' own show with Jon Stewart wasn't bad. This Shield reunion was, yeah, we all know that was a troll job. I agree. Don't even remind me of Khali's return at Battleground 2017. Wade getting kicked out of Nexus for Punk being a new leader. Dolph and Lana romance that was weird, went nowhere. My Shinsuke voice. Well, sticks and stones, they break my bones, words never hurt me. Man. The League of Nations, don't remind me of them. Top 10 lists, that was terrible. Gender feuds, don't remind me, but that wasn't really excitement, so it was just feuds. The Rude's United States title run was awful. I never was more disgusted with Ziggler than the time they did this Lana romance thing. At first, I was behind it, but then it blew up in her face because Lana got hurt, and then she revealed their engagement online. And what were they doing there? They were pretty much showing that Dolph was pretty much trying to sweep up Summer Rae. And that was all they was. God, just weird. But one friend said, no offense, but being with Summer Rae was kind of like being with a cancer, pretty much. Because everyone she was with just went downhill. Fandango, Dolph Ziggler, and even Tyler Breeze. Remember, she was briefly with Tyler Breeze. Where did that go? Nowhere. Brian supporting Owens and Zayn 7 seconds after shakeup. All day, I couldn't. What was the all day segment again? The segment wherever where the club was trying to mock the New Day, so they brought out those 3 guys dressed up as old men pretending to be the New Day. Randy and Roman Randy promo with New Day in 2015. Is that the promo where Randy Orton started dancing whenever New Day's music hit? Oh my goodness. See, I also have segments that I don't know or that I can remember at least. No worry. Drake joining AOP, which again is still kind of weird. Kane being revealed as Taker's attacker in 2010 wasn't bad. AJ reuniting with the club in 2016. That was a great segment, definitely. Nikki and Cena promo with Miz and Maurice for Mania. Oh, God. And you're getting on the call about not having any kids. Well, how many kids do you have? Huh? Oh, wait. Oh, that's right. 0. Were you firing blanks down there, sport? Still cracks me up. One of my favorite Cena promos for sure. Cass being revealed as Enzo's attacker. I was actually mad that night when they went with Cass. I'm like, you can't split them up. Like, you can. You can't. Even though, once again, what Cass said was true though, but it's like you couldn't split them up yet. Come on. But Nia and Enzo romance, dear God, don't remind me. Which again was apparently supposed to set up for Enzo to cheat on Nia with Alexa, and we probably would have seen Nia Jax just beat the crap out of Enzo at WrestleMania. That was supposed to be the reason. That was supposed to lead into the Nia and Alexa feud, by the way. Alexa bullying Nia. Huh? Mickey and Alexa realignance. What's their top of that? Because it was so random. Lawler back as heel in 16. On commentary, he wasn't too bad. Of course, recently with Lawler, I still think of that segment with him and Dolph Ziggler. Oh, that was a dark segment. Effective, but scary. Legends at Mania 32. Talking about the segment with Cena and Rock. That was awful. Cena jinxing Nexus in 2010. Oh, God. Nerds! Sheamus' gimmick in 2015, which wasn't too bad. But of course, they didn't really lead to anything good for him in the end. Sorry, but I like the stupid nerd thing, which that's fine. But again, I actually think that's not the cup. Not the cup, it's the club. Maybe I'm stupid. Larry, you're not stupid, man. We all have our opinions, man. Don't ever take any offense to it. Edge heads with Edge, Ryder, and Hawkins. That was good. Teddy Long and Crystal wedding in 07. Don't remember that. Steph and Vince feud on SmackDown in 03. I actually think I remember coming across that, and I saw the match they had. Oh, dear God. He was choking out Stephanie with that lead pipe. I lost all respect for JBL as well. Big Show affair with Vicky Guerrero in 09. That was weird. Yeah, apparently JBL was bullying Morrow backstage, which is why he would let him to leave him for a while. JBL bullied a lot of people at WWE. Oh, that's for sure. Billy and Chuck Wade can remember that. AJ Lee becoming GM. Chris Masters can tell you something about it, Lauren. Oh, boy. Katie Vick segments always make me cringe. Remember that love scene? Okay, yeah, definitely. Lita's pregnancy. Yeah, didn't Kane kick the baby or something like that into the crowd? That was weird. Oh, I can't believe I forgot to put this one in my list. Good honorable mention. HBK turning on Marty Jannetty. Definitely a good one there. Wade and Orton battle in a food fight. Oh, gosh. The B Team Memorial Day barbecue. Oh, I forgot about that as well. JR. Let's see. Where at? Del Rio doing Orton's gimmick in 2012. Can't remember, but not quite. I remember that concert segment. It was stupid as fuck. Agree. Christian's World Title Cryberry segment in 2011. Oh, goodness. We want TV14 back. Charlotte's heel promo on on Ric Flair. Ooh, that was heartbreaking, but it was effective for Charlotte as a heel. Why do you always lose subscribers when I'm on your stream? Should I leave? No, I don't know why I'm losing subscribers, but it's not your fault, man. Keep staying around, man. Don't feel guilty, man. Edge and Vicky's wedding, very strange. Dean is a funny bastard for sure. How was Rollins and Orton's segment in person? It was pretty nice to see, pretty badass. Orton saying, "I'm gonna RKO every son of a bitch I see." Nice. What's up, T and Coupar? Thank you for joining us, man. Styles turning on Cena. That was shocking and unexpected. He's doing good. It's good to hear. I tweeted 2 videos. One Jericho let. Yeah, that's what Larry was telling me about. I need to see. I'm going to definitely check out that one as soon as this stream ends. But of course, I'll have the best ones to get through. Hot dog stand. Oh, when Dean Ambrose went to Coney Island, came back, was attacking the Authority with that hot dog stand stuff. Oh god, that was weird. But with that being said, Brian turning heel in 2018 just happened. I'm still trying to process it. Like, what's led to this, Daniel? Gotta see what happens, of course. Coming forward in upcoming weeks. Like, what made him do that? But we will see with that. But I think let's get to the top 10. Well, since Tian Coupon is joining us live, let me just go read him my top 10 worst of all time and give him his top 10 worst. Then we'll get to the top 10 best. So number 10 was Tamina repeating Charlotte's line on SmackDown in 2017. Number 9 was Roman Reigns' Jack and the Beanstalk in 2015. Number 8 was Jerry Lawler's family reconciliation segment with the Bellas in 2014. Number 7 was the revealing the anonymous general manager. Number 6 was Bobby's sisters. Number 5 was in 2016 when they were attempting to get Brock Lesnar booed in his hometown. Number 4, the many faces of Shinsuke Nakamura. Jinder Mahal making fun of Shinsuke's face. Excuse me, I burped. Number 3 was the old day. Number 2 was the stuff with Katie Vick. And number 1 was Vince McMahon mocking JR's colon surgery. That's my top 10 worst. So let's get into the top 10 best. Let's talk about the positive ones. So ones that I find funny. Most of these are pretty recent. There was one that was kind of old that just cracked me up when I first saw it, but I still like it. That's my number 10. Number 10 was the hospital segment where Vince McMahon was in the hospital. I don't remember like what he was in there for. He probably something with his foot or whatnot. And then, "Doctor, you need help?" "No, I think I from here, Mayor." And Vince realized the voice, and it was Stone Cold Steve Austin. And he goes there, he starts beating up Vince McMahon's foot. And he's like, "Oh, wow, wow, wow." Like, how does that feel? Whatever he was saying. And he took that pan and just smacked him right in the face. Still cracks me up to this day. I mean, I'm sure Austin McMahon had other good segments, like all the times where, Austin hit Stone Cold. I mean, Austin hit himself. That Austin hit Vince McMahon with the stunner and whatnot. But I say that still was my favorite for all the ones I saw from the highlights of their feud, which is my number 10. Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon brawl in the hospital, and Stone Cold just smacks him in the head with that pan. That's my number 10. Number 9 is the night of the birth of "I'm not finished with you." That segment, which of course another honorable mention, is the opening segment to Raw after WrestleMania 33, where Roman Reigns was just booed to death, and the crowd would not let him talk. And the only thing he could say was, "This is my yard now." But the week later, he's interviewed backstage about him supposedly retiring the Undertaker. He didn't retire; he came back a year later. It was appeared at Raw 25, but again, they'll fall off from that at all. But and then Braun Strowman literally just wreaked havoc on Roman Reigns, beat the crap out of him so bad that he had to be taken away in an ambulance. But that was not it. Braun came back screaming out, "I'm not finished with you!" Goes into the ambulance, beats him up while he's on the stretcher, throws him out of the ambulance off the stretcher. Of course, they end up getting him back in, but then Braun came out of nowhere. He flipped the freaking ambulance over. Now, Braun Strowman already had some momentum going. Of course, it kind of got cut off a little bit whenever he lost to Roman Reigns at Fastlane and got dumped out of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal like he was nothing in at WrestleMania 33, which that was just pissy, terrible to do. But literally, I felt this segment was what really lit the fire in the Braun Strowman character. Of course, beating the crap out of Roman Reigns in 2017, that's going to get anyone when they love you, pretty much. Heck, beat up Michael Cole, of course. That's what easily gets you to love you as well. Well, except when it was like as bad as John Cena and Michael Cole in 2012. But that's what made Braun Strowman the way he was and should have been. Of course, he's been slowed down a little because, we already talked about that how many times. But that's my number 9, Braun Strowman flipping an ambulance. Number 8. This happened in 2017 as well. And I know Lauren said this thing was weird, but I loved every minute of this segment. It was long, but it was still funny and entertaining. It was an emotional roller coaster ride. You were happy one moment, you were sad, you were serious, and then pow! February 13th, 2017. I remember I was coming home from Virginia that day because I was down in Virginia for a funeral. And I was told, you got to see this segment. I remember it being advertised the week before, but we had it in Las Vegas. Ladies and gentlemen, the Festival of Friendship. Jericho went all out, being David Lee Ross, Bozy Bop, aha, and whatnot, coming out with all these ladies. He got in there. He gave these little gifts to Owens, who Owens the whole time is just like, Chris, what the fuck are you doing here? Just like had this look on his face. He was confused as hell and whatnot. Which time I need to switch the batteries for a second as I'm continuing to charge the batteries for my gig on Saturday. Once again, hopefully, the snow does not hold us off. But let's switch this up a little bit. Put this battery in here next. My crotch. Anyways, and of course, things get strange as, of course, he pulls out, uncovers the creation of Jericho, or heck it was, that sculpture. The art of Jericho, sculpt it in, man, or whatnot. And it was the thing of the Guggenheim where they're intertwined and whatnot. Of course, it was weird as hell. And then there came out the poster of the creation of Kevin. And it was that weird ass photo of Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens just reaching for each other. And Chris is like, you can hang this in your house. He's like, Chris, I can't hang this in my house. I got kids. You're not even wearing pants. And what's funny was, like, a couple of days later, it was only there for like one day, and they took them down. I guess they thought it was too subjective or whatnot. They had replicas of that available on WWE Shop of that photo. There was no way I was going to buy it, but it was only like $10 or whatnot. But it was just so funny. And there was Friendship the Magician there who didn't please Kevin Owens, and of course the other gift of how I'm going to have your back at Fastlane, which it was kind of Jericho's fault that Goldberg had the match with Owens at Fastlane. Then they bring back Gilbert and they beat him down. And then so Chris Jericho gets all serious, saying, you've been my best friend. I've enjoyed working with you this past year or whatnot. Just pours his heart out to Owens. And Owens like, it's fine. This is great, whatnot. And they hug. He says, I got you some as well. And keep in mind too, they wanted to take this. The people wanted to take this out apparently of the segment because they thought it was too much comedy, but it was not comedy because of the way it was shot. And it was just, and as Owens says too, which he gave Kevin Bucktooth Don credit for this, but apparently the way it was shot, you see Jericho opening up the box, revealing the fact that it was a new list, but then he goes, how come my name's on this? And he holds the list up, and you see, because at first apparently rumors have it, they apparently got it where it said the list of KO, but the KO was in this big fancy writing like it is for Jericho. But he says you gotta change it. You gotta put like his actual like KO blocks on there because it's him pretty much. But then as Owens says, like, it was shot perfectly because it's just on Jericho saying like, how come my name is on this? And then everyone else knows but him that it says the list of KO, but he doesn't know. And then you hear the microphone drop off camera, and you see that glare in Owens' eyes, and you see Jericho turn around and he's like, oh no, and then boom, it's off to the races. And of course, they did the which another honorable mention is the segment where Chris Jericho turned heel on Shawn Michaels in '08, but they did a replica of that by having Owens just throw Jericho right into the screen, to that Festival of Friendship TV screen, and it broke. A great segment by far. Just one of the best segments of 2017. Again, it was a roller coaster ride. Of course, also another honorable mention was the segment the week after where Kevin Owens cut that dark and great promo on Goldberg. And he says, oh, you want to hear about Chris Jericho, right? Nope, not happening today, pretty much. That was honorable mention as well. But my number 8 is for sure the Festival of Friendship. Number 7, the most recent segment that happened. This past Monday, that I said in my Survivor Series predictions, literally for sure made Becky Lynch a babyface forever. Becky Lynch leading SmackDown in the Raw Invasion this past week. I already put this segment on here because they followed this up nicely on SmackDown, despite the fact that Becky Lynch is not able to compete on Sunday against Ronda Rousey. Pretty much saying exactly what she had to say when I reconciled with Charlotte and whatnot. Because the reason why I compared it to Stone Cold Steve Austin, WrestleMania 13. What'll happen? A double turn. Bret Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin proved to be an ultimate badass. That bloody face, refusing to tap out, taking so much from the pass out, instantly causing the double turn. I really think, Becky Lynch taking that shot to the face like she did from Nia Jax, getting a shattered nose, all bloodied up, still going in there and just literally kicking legit ass like she did with the steel chair and whatnot. Just awesome stuff. And it's literally what has put Becky Lynch over the top big time. And people want to see her get like that, the even bigger push that she was already starting to get. Like people want to see her main event WrestleMania. People want to see her so badly now fight Ronda Rousey because it's not believable. If it was Becky Lynch before SummerSlam before like earlier this year and beforehand when she was being underutilized, she wouldn't have a prayer against Ronda Rousey. But this Becky Lynch now, she's utilized, she's been great. And this segment again, just like further dominated her as a complete badass, fighting through with a broken face and just literally just kicking some ass. Which is why I gotta put this one on my list. It just happened this week. It deserves to be on this list. Becky Lynch leading SmackDown Women's Division in the Raw Invasion in 2018. Number 6 is my only segment from Talking Smack. That memorable segment with Daniel Bryan and The Miz. That is the segment that got people really hungry to see Daniel Bryan punch The Miz in the face. There was so much truth in that segment, pretty much, that The Miz laid out to him. And it was so good that Daniel Bryan literally got up and walked away. Like, some people thought that Daniel Bryan was literally going to cry, tell him to go back to the bingo halls, pretty much just, at the time, we didn't think Daniel Bryan had a chance to ever come back and wrestle in the WWE ever again. In order to get great heel heat, and as I keep saying, what makes The Miz so great is the fact that he does mention some truth in there. And we want to see people overcome that and give him his comeuppance. He is winning his battles, but in an effective way that, people are eventually going to be able to give him his comeuppance like he did, because he's mentioning truth. We didn't know Daniel Bryan was going to be coming back and wrestling ever again. He just literally just buried him to death on live TV and just bashed him again. Like Daniel Bryan literally got up and walked away. Like Miz even thought it too. He thought first he was going to make Daniel Bryan cry because of that. He literally just laid into him. Definitely one of the best moments of 2016 as well, and one of the best segments of all time. Miz and Daniel Bryan talking smack. I'm sorry I'm talking fast. I've been going on and on already for like an hour and a half, so I'm just trying to kind of speed this up a little bit. So let's check the live chat again and see what happens here. Let me see here. Let's see here. Where are we at? I think we're at when Tia Couponer came in. Let's see here. think we're right here. Orton Punk kick on everyone in 2007. That's right. That was what eventually led to a couple years later with the CM Punk and Orton feud. The screw job, of course, was memorable. Punk joined Nexus. Raw guest host. No thanks. What's up, Elite Squad? An underrated promo is Zayn and Owens on the announce table cutting a promo on Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was good too. I like that. The Austin thing. Oh God, yes. The other one is bad and creepy, where John Heidenreich had Cole in the bathroom. Oh God, I look forward to seeing that. The Rock and Orton Pro in 04, can't remember that one. Otunga on commentary. Ugh, God. Lawler's son turning heel in 2012. Y2J returned in 2012 without speaking a word. That stuff as well is pretty good. Austin, the beer truck, and Angle and the milk truck need to be here. I forgot to put those in, but those are definitely probably great honorable mentions. The Braun ambulance promo, yes. Orton and Triple H segments at Orton's home. Oh, yeah, and the Orton kissing Stephanie McMahon segment as well when he had Triple H tied him in that handcuff. He literally just beat the crap out of Triple H. He RKO'd Stephanie and sealed it with a kiss for sure. I have to agree with you, Elite. Zayn and Owens were gold. The promo on the announce table was badass and funny. It definitely was. Ellsworth climbing the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Lauren Nias being revealed as GM for both Raw and SmackDown. Don't remind me. Zayn and Owens definitely always are entertaining when given the right material to work with as well. Vince being relieved of his duties. That was pretty good as well. Rock returned in 2011 was great. The Elias and Owens segments actually were pretty funny. I enjoyed that. Yay. Where they got booed heavily, especially that one in Seattle. Yeah. Oh, how can I forget this one? Mark Henry's fake retirement on John Cena. Yeah, that was a great double cross. He got us there big time. Special Friendship was okay. It was just strange. This was on the verge of Jericho's face turn. Henry's retirement, but attacked Cena. That was the face turn of Jericho. Embrace it, man. He said further down in the live chat. Orton and Triple H heel turn at SummerSlam with the Money in the Bank cash in. That was great as well, of course. Orton turning on Legacy. Can't remember the exact same it happened. Sting returns help Orton fight off the Authority was nice. What about the Authority's return with Rollins threatening to attack Edge and Christian Dunn? Oh, I hated that. I'm sorry. It wasn't the fact that they did that they had them attack Edge, but again, it was literally like actually earlier today or whatnot when we said that the last opportunity to really turn Cena heel was in 2000 was when he feuded with The Rock, especially WrestleMania 29. He could have turned him heel then. Take that back also, they could have had Cena turn heel some way in 2015, or at least have him like Seth Rollins like win a match and he against Cena, and that would cause the Authority to be brought back or something like that. But instead, they literally had to Cena just. I wish they would. I thought they would have brought back the Authority a better way than just that. Orton burning down the Wyatt family compound was good as well, but unfortunately it led to the downfall of that feud. It's perfect. A new list. How come my name's on it? List of Jericho's list on all the best segments for sure. Triple H dumping 702 was good. Rated RKO formation was good. Mark misses a list of Jericho. Well, I mean, I had the replica. Oops, almost lost it. We have it right here. I think Elias or people backstage were the last people to be put on the list before Jericho went away for a while. Well, then again, when he was here in Pittsburgh back in April in Fosburg, he said we all made the list. Becky 316 invasion of the week for sure. When he called Mike Tom Mike, those are always funny. How could you not love Jericho? Ronda's promo on another honorable mention. Well, that when I do top 10 insults, that will probably be there. Ronda saying that the only door you've ever knocked down is the door to John Cena's bedroom, and he threw you right back out that door. Literally a burn. Nikki Bella had nothing else to come back to from that. the list of Jericho is needed on the current product for sure. In fact, the list of Jericho needs to be put into the Hall of Fame, as I say. Jericho is one of my all-time faves. How could you not love the guy? He makes anything work, pretty much. Becky and Shaw might be friends again, not 100% sure. Steph and Shane controlling Raw and SmackDown Live. Shane has a lot of respect for Elise, for sure. Oh yeah, another one good one. Owens attacking Vince 2017. Yes, that was great. Miz and Bryan promo on Talking Smack. Just talk about that. I'm sure when Becky returns, she's 110% babyface again. She can't anything else for sure, definitely. But no, WWE will screw up somehow. Bryan named a special guest referee, Clash of Champions. It was, I wouldn't say it was a great segment, but it was just, it happened. The Yes Movement 2014, for sure. The Summer of Punk. We'll get to that shortly. Trump and Vince segment in 09. No, let's not talk about that. The CM Punk pipe bomb is still the best promo ever. Might be for sure. AJ's romances with Punk, Kane, Cena, and Bryan. Oh, yeah, those were good. Well, maybe the other one was Cena because of the way the storyline went, but we'll talk about that later. The Rock and Mankind's This Is Your Life segment is one of the most popular segments in all WWE. I've heard about it. I've seen parts of it, not the whole thing of that segment. The Draft in 16. Heyman promos on the 14 before Hell in a Cell with Cena and Orton. Trying to remember that one for sure. Yeah. Seth getting slimed. Triple H named COO. I think I remember that segment. Triple H HBK segment 2002 where he found out that Triple H attacked HBK in the parking lot. That was a good one. And Orton and Punk feud was good. Another one I completely forgot. I completely forgot to mention this one before I do my top 5. An honorable mention, of course, we have DX. Hey, you, buddy, what's your name? Stan. Well, now Ty Dillinger. Stan. Boom! See? I just kicked Stan! I can't believe I forgot to put that one on my list. I love that segment. Cracks me up. But I forgot. But oh well. But let's get to the top 5 because I'm starting to get tired. Number 5, the Nexus debut. Of course, if it would have led to better things for the Nexus, it would have been higher. The match was, I think it was a night where I remember trying to watch the episode that night. It was just a weird night where the fans got to pick everything. So they voted for CM Punk to face John Cena for the WWE Championship in the main event that night. During the match, out came Wade Barrett and the rest of the Nexus members through the crowd. And as this put, they were pretty much told to just go out there and raise hell. And that's what they did. They beat down Cena. They beat down on Punk. Of course, got added Punk telling a story about how apparently Ryback will skip Sheffield a time. I guess, again, because Punk and Luke Gallows had no clue that anything was going on with the Nexus. Of course, no one knew what was going on with the Nexus. They hid the whole angle from all of them. So they started of course, that was right after Punk returned from his laser eye surgery, and people were starting digging their hands into his eyes. And I guess he started beating the crap out of Ryback, and he's like, no, we're the beater-uppers. We beat up. And I like the way they imitated on the Punk podcast. But they beat them up. They beat up announcers. They tore the announce table. They beat up the cameraman. They ripped up the floor and everything. Literally one of the most vicious brawls I've seen. Of course, Daniel Bryan got fired because he pulled on Justin Roberts' ring tie. And also, apparently, he spit on John Cena also when he's like, you're not better than me. Pow. Kick, pretty much. Got Bryan fired, but he came out back a couple months later as the 7th member of Team WWE against Team Nexus, pretty much. Of course, that match, we'll talk about that some other time. Yeah, just a brutal invasion. Again, could have been held a little bit higher, but Nexus didn't get too far out of that. But that was unfortunate what happened to them. But that's my number 5 is the Nexus debut in 2010. Number 4, of all the Daniel Bryan segments, of course, I still enjoyed the segment where he on the go home show of WrestleMania 30 when he came back and attacked Triple H, whatnot. We found him wanting to see him get his hands on Triple H like he did. But still, I gotta give it to one of the most unreal segments ever. Hashtag Occupy Raw. I think it was March 10th, 2014. Triple H was refusing to have a match with Daniel Bryan. Not want to waste time with them, saying, I want to try to get you on the card and we'll see what happens. But that card, that would have been him facing Sheamus. And again, it is true. Bryan's original WrestleMania 30 opponent, we don't know, was supposed to be Sheamus. But that was not the case. So it would have been 5th on the card, 12-minute match. That bill just for a 5-minute match, for a 12-minute match with Sheamus, that we've seen how many times at WrestleMania, that was 18 seconds. It did make the main show. Oh my gosh. Ridiculous. But so finally, Daniel Bryan said, we have a voice. You guys aren't going to listen to it. So we want what we want, and we're not going to leave this ring until we get what we want. So we're going to occupy Raw. Literally brought all these fans in there with Daniel Bryan shirts on there, just chanting, yes, yes, yes. Of course, Triple H said begging we're trying to get him to get out of the ring, trying to get the show go on. Damian Sandow came out. I was like, oh, Sandow, you want to join the Yes Movement? Come on, come on. But he didn't get into the ring, but Daniel Bryan kept going and going and going, saying he was not going to leave the ring until Triple H gave what he wanted. That was a match at WrestleMania. Finally, Triple H all pissed off, saying, you want your match at WrestleMania? Fine, you're on and whatnot. And he says, but one more thing. If I beat you, I get added to the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. And he finds, just fine, take what you want, just get the hell out of my ring. He had to be dragged out. Of course, led to a week or two later, whenever Triple H literally tricked Bryan into thinking that they're having just a cool man-to-man chat, and that there was tension going between him and Stephanie, but it was just a setup for him to get handcuffed, or Stephanie to bring out the police to handcuff him. That way Triple H, well, actually, sorry, they weren't real cops. He looked forward to doing that all night to him, and he literally handcuffed Daniel Bryan, and him and Stephanie just literally beat the shit out of Daniel Bryan. And 2 weeks later, Bryan returned, and during the match between Orton and Batista in the main event of tonight's Raw, that Raw, of course, you hear Stephanie and Triple H commentary is putting over how great this match was. This is what I wanted to see. This is what's best for business and whatnot. The Viper and the Animal do this and blah, blah, blah. And, of course, at first, it was only going to be a triple threat if Bryan got added to the match. But then Triple H was tired of Orton and Batista's bickering and doubting him and whatnot. So he said there will be a triple threat. If he beats Bryan, he's going to get inserted into the match. Now, I honestly thought, I don't know if I've ever said this before, I thought the match between Triple H and Daniel Bryan was going to end in some way that both of them were going to get added to the match. Triple H was not in the match, but he got involved, of course, again, throwing all the odds at Daniel Bryan, as I always say, and he overcame it all. Again, just a great story in general. But of course, that Bryan's gone; he's a heel now. But we'll see where this goes. Hopefully, gives Bryan a little more fire, to light him up a little more. But yeah, hashtag Occupy Raw, definitely my number 4. Number 3, I talked about this when I did my top 10 SmackDown Live moments of all time. It was my number 1, I believe. The Total Bellas bullshit lost footage. Miz and Maurice just mocking John Cena, Nikki Bella through Total Bellas type segments. Rule number 1 of John Cena's house is you don't do anything bad in John Cena's house. Or, Nikki, I love you. Nikki, I'd like to pop you a question. Would you like to give me a glass of water? Or, oh, John, you look so great today. Rebound. Or when they even add in the segment where they were mocking like a dinner night with a double dinner date with Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella as well. Again, it was, the Miz again, being more of an A-lister, egotistical heel pretty much. But when you add in how he is a Hollywood actor, he literally can do all these segments and he can bring comedy out of them too, as far as mocking John Cena and Nikki Bella and mocking Daniel Bryan as well, being on his knees with the beard. They were just killing it. It was just, of course, literally once again, spitting some truth in what was true. John Cena, we don't know. Well, again, I don't watch Total Divas, but, it's come to our attention. Apparently, John Cena is kind of controlling. Obviously, we all know that John Cena and Nikki Bella's relationship, wasn't the most steady all the time. So, obviously, the Miz and Maurice were attacking that, especially the fact that Nikki Bella doesn't have, after the ring on my finger, this. and whatnot. Just laying in the truth. As I said, what makes a great heel is when you lay in truth and how do you overcome it. Of course, they did, just firing everything right back at them. Once again, how many kids do you have? Anybody remember how many years now? That's where Monroe Sky was born. Huh? Oh, wait. Oh, that's right. None. Were you firing blanks down there, sport? Just some of the best work I think The Miz has done, of course, besides his talking smack promo with Daniel Bryan. But definitely one of my best segments of all time is the series of the Toe Bella's bullshit loss footage at my number 3. Number 2, one of the best heel turns of all time. Of course, that could go to Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels turn on Marty Jannetty, but I forgot about that. Dumb me. But of course, one of the best heel turns I feel in my time. Now, of course, we just had Dean Ambrose pull a turn, but we all knew Dean was going to turn at some point. We knew this stable, of course, that they were a part of was going to break up at some point in 2014, but we didn't know who was going to be the one to pull the trigger. And once again, I keep saying, the one that I least expected out of the 3 to do it did it. Seth Rollins' heel turn in 2014 when he turned on the Shield. In the segment where the Shield was literally on top of the world. And as Dean Ambrose said in an interview, they realized now they pretty much had to go out on their highest note. And they pretty much did that also when Ambrose turned on Rollins. They went out on the highest note, becoming Raw Tag Champions. Like, how much further could they get before Ambrose turned on Rollins? Well, so of course it was the clean sweep of the Evolution and Shield feud, which I thought was an amazing feud. I thought it was great. The matches were great as well. So what was next for the Shield? Well, obviously earlier tonight, Batista was, I understand, and I quit. Of course, we just saw him recently again, but due to Triple H's injury, we're probably not be getting a Batista and Triple H match at WrestleMania 35 now, because I think Triple H will be cleared to wrestle by then. Who knows, maybe, not sure. But maybe Batista will face Orton, as some people said, not sure. So they're one down. So I remember Randy Orton that night requested a match with Roman Reigns, and it looked like the match was going to happen. But then they came out with a sledgehammer in the hand. And, of course, Triple H mentions the plan B. There is always a plan B. And I noticed Seth Rollins had a chair in his hand. And I'm like, guess this is just to protect him from them. But all of a sudden, he grabs a chair, and I'm like, wait, why is he about to swing? There's no one in the ring. I was like, oh, my God! Like, kind of like the same reaction I had whenever Dean Ambrose turned heel on Seth. Like, when Dean Ambrose turned on Seth a couple weeks ago, I was more concerned, like, I wonder when was the last time someone was a dual champion twice occurred. I'm like, what? Like, again, my mom was in the room, and she's like, what? What's going on? I'm like, hey. And then, of course, I had the same reaction, of course, when Seth Rollins turned on the Shield, which thing about it existed. They went after the authority bribed the architect of the Shield. Wouldn't it make sense to have the architect take apart the Shield pretty much? And he so did. Again, we knew the Shield was going to break up. It was a matter of who was it going to be? That burning question. Who will it be? I mean, obviously, Ambrose had the character. I thought he'd be an easy pick. Roman Reigns, though, I thought, oh, he's a powerhouse. He's not the underdog. He can say, I can do this all without you and whatnot. But, of course, way off from having that, of course. So Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, of course, ended up being the one. Shocked the hell out of me. So I didn't think he was the least expected out of 3 of them, I thought, to be the one. But he was. And that's why my number 2 on the list. So 10-2. Number 10, Austin McMahon brawl in a hospital. McMahon getting hit in the head with a pan. Braun Strowman flipping an ambulance. The Festival of Friendship. Becky Lynch leads the SmackDown Live Women's Division to invade Raw. Miz and Daniel Bryan on Talking Smack. The Nexus debut. Hashtag Occupy Raw. Toe Bella's bullshit loss footage. Seth Rollins shattering the Shield. Number 1, what else could be much better, much worth talking about? The pipe bomb. The pipe bomb that CM Punk laid out, because there was so much truth in all of that. it was obvious CM Punk was not happy with the WWE. He was considering leaving pretty much, and he pretty much was all set to be out the door. But of course, Z said he kind of talked himself into resigning and giving it the old college try and saying all that he wants and whatnot. But this segment he just laid in all this truth, how the WWE is full of nothing but a parade of shameless ass kissers, to think that this company would be better off when Vince McMahon is dead. And he just went on and on saying that how he's going to leave this behind and take the WWE Championship with him and prove that he really is the best in the world, but he'll show it elsewhere. But he will pretty much take the WWE by storm with him with the championship as his contract expires. Again, just laying all that truth that even though he was a heel, made CM Punk the biggest babyface and the hottest thing going in the WWE in 2011. That's Summer Punk in general. Not just that promo, of course, but of course, the contract signing as well before the Money in the Bank match was great as well. Vince, I'm going to kick you in the nuts. You're going to show me some respect. You will apologize. You will apologize, and you will like it. I apologize, you son of a bitch. And then, of course, I remember also, I think when I was on the Megabus heading out to New York for summer 2015, I was looking up this random memes on the internet while we were on the bus, and I found this meme where Vince and Punk were pointing at each other and saying that he called me a bad name, and then Punk pointing at Vince saying he thought that my staph infection was a mosquito bite. C, of course, came out and pretty much just said a fine speech. He put over Punk and how great he is, but he's saying, what you're doing here, you're losing sight of all this and whatnot, blah blah blah. And Punk is like, I have lost sight. You are the one that has lost sight. I am the underdog, and you are what you hate. You're a dynasty. You have become what you hate. You are no longer the Boston Red Sox. You have become the New York Yankees. Pow! And then, of course, apparently, I think this was not scripted, but he's like, cut the music, cut the music. I have something to say. I'm glad you punched me in the face, John, because I'm tired of this. I'm tired of you. I'm tired of all of this. So Sunday night, say goodbye to the WWE title. Say goodbye to John Cena, whose job was on the line if he didn't beat Punk, which is right before, of course, when Vince McMahon was leaving his duties and Triple H's new COO. And say goodbye to CM Punk. Of course, another great promo that I also enjoy was the Go Home show, the Night of Champions, where Triple H and Punk were just going war at each other or whatnot. Once again, because, real life, Punk and Triple H didn't really like each other, of course. And it's all this truth, the whole bodybuilding stuff and the fact that, that he still feels that he was behind, the attack of Kevin Nash and whatnot. Of course, So you're saying we'll see the audience tonight, right? Right? Then where, oh, where are my WWE ice cream bars? Oh, goodness. I can go on and on about that. But, of course, again, back to the number one, definitely the pipe bomb. Grabbed so much attention, made CM Punk a megastar, instantly a megastar. And to me, it is the best segment of all time. So before I check the live chat, once again, let's go back and review both my lists here. Starting off with the worst segments of all time. Tamina repeating Charlotte on SmackDown. Roman Reigns, Jack and the Beanstalk. The fan recognition with Lawler and the Bellas. Anonymous GM being revealed. Bobby's sisters. Brock Lesnar attempted to be booed in his hometown. The many faces of Nakamura. Old Day, Katie Vick, and Vince mocking JR's colon surgery. For the best, the hospital brawl with Austin and Vince. Braun Strowman flipping the ambulance. Festival of Friendship. Becky Lynch's 316 moment. Miz and Daniel Bryan talking smack. The Nexus debut. Occupy Raw. Total Bella's bullshit lost footage. Seth Rollins turning on the Shield. And the pipe bomb. That, guys, is my list of my top 10 best and worst segments of all time. Before I check the live chat, of course, next week's top 10 will most likely probably be next Friday. Will be the top 10 best and worst matches of all time. That's what I've been waiting for a long time to do. But let's check the chat of live one more time before we catch off. We've been on for almost 2 hours here, guys, but that is completely, worth what we've been doing. We were at And you have any more honorable mentions, guys? Feel free to leave them in the comments section. Next was supposed to win at SummerSlam 2010, but it was Nyx, of course, because SummerSlam has to have a happy ending, as Wade Barrett said, Vince apparently said. Orton, Cena in the next year in 2010 lived the Survivor Series. You know, could have been effective, but of course, John Cena was still there every single week. Just so it's not forgotten, Kurt Angle singing his own version of Sexy Boy. I'm just a sexy Kurt. Sexy Kurt. I'll make your ankle hurt. Ankle hurt. That was great as well. Honorable mention. Cena also could have turned heel in 2010, but was also nixed. As I keep saying, I did read somewhere that they were really considering turning John Cena heel at WrestleMania 29. They apparently had like gear and stuff all ready for him to do so, but then apparently there was some like big Kmart special or something like that Cena was involved with, and because of that, they didn't do the turn because Cena's the big babyface. They gotta have that Kmart deal or whatnot. Oh my goodness, we brought so much fresh there. You should also do your top 10 Survivor Series matches and moments. Kind of hard. I haven't really seen many Survivor Series. I mean, the only 2 Survivor Series matches I've really enjoyed were the Team Cena versus Team Authority and the men's Survivor Series match in 2016. Other than that, not much Survivor Series memories to me. Of course, Montreal Screwjob was there as well. Yes, sub like on the video. Have a great night as well. TN Coupon, thank you for joining me live. Taker being defeated for the first time, which that was a shocker. King of the Ring 2010, didn't really see that much. Laurinaitis being fired. John Laurinaitis, you're fired. Sandow turning on Miz at WrestleMania 31. Batista leaving. Evolution versus Shield, great feud. Steph being arrested, that was a good segment as well. Orton's heel pro on Eddie Guerrero. Trying to remember that one. Everyone hated him, but the questions. Eddie's segments. Oh God, how can we forget? Of course, whatever. Batista just laid what Mysterio and Batista were trying. Mysterio was trying to reason with Batista. He's rooting for Eddie. Eddie's dead. Bold right there. Cena debut. That's another good one. There are so many good ones. Ray versus Eddie, same with Dominic being on the line. Oh, yes, that was some serious stuff for sure. Eddie as a heel was gold, but as a babyface, he was a comedic genius. You don't find a guy like Eddie Guerrero anymore. Definitely not. Rest in peace, Latino Heat. The Rock's Concert 03 was great. Who doesn't miss Eddie? Some stupid idiots. Only hard people are people that never got to watch Eddie for sure. John Cena's raps were definitely good. That was my draft. Cena drafted to Raw. Batista face turn on Triple H. Yeah, that segment was great as well. Or drafted to SmackDown 2011. Imagine the betrayal came from Roman Reigns. Oh God, what a run that would have been. Would have been crazy for sure. The heel turn on Shield was supposed to be Dean, but went with Seth. I mean, I still think Dean was like the first out of them. I thought because of his character. Again, Rome I thought would be segments. Hey, he's the powerhouse. I don't need you guys. Batista's face turn was my favorite of all time. Face turn, which was good. And Evolution for the Shield was so underrated. Evolution should have won that feud, she felt. Punk's pipe bomb wasn't scripted for sure. What's your honorable mentions for top segments? Remember, I mentioned several already. Bedpan McMahon was funny, and when McMahon pissed his pants, and when Stone Cold took over as CEO was great as well. Of course, also thrown there also when Shane McMahon announced he was buying WCW as well. Roman was the original idea for turning instead of Seth. Interesting. Gonna get ready for bed. See you Sunday for your Survivor Series. We love you guys. Sweet dreams. Thank you for joining us as always, Lauren. Miss the what chance? What? Huh? This was a long stream, but it was worth it. But it was hilarious. So funny. You want to know what would have been funny if Stone Cold had become GM of Raw and The Rock GM of SmackDown? Actually, would have been pretty sweet for sure. Their shows, for sure. I would have loved to see that. They could have renewed their rivalry. Could have, of course, if Austin was healthy enough. I'd say go for it. But that would not have been a bad idea because they were each their own shows pretty much. But yeah. But guys, thank you guys for joining. This is about a 2-hour stream, I think it was. Yeah, let's see. Streamed 2 hours ago. Yeah, we started streaming 2 hours ago. Yeah, it was a long stream, but again, it was worth it. I'm pretty sure the last one, maybe 2 streams for this month. Again, next week we have top 10 matches. The following week, I'm going to do my top 10 best of all time. I got to do that one there. And in December, again, is mainly going to be stuff from the best of 2018. We're going to do those streams in 2018. Well, we're going to do them in December for pretty much. But yeah, guys, Mark, Robbie, Elite Squad, Warren, TN Couponer, everybody, thank you all for joining me for this special live stream. Again, I'm sorry we started a little bit late, but I had a couple other things I had to get done. And my battery's almost also charged here done as well. So let me just switch this real fast. Even though we're about to check out here. But yeah, guys, thank you once again for joining in. Again, feel free to always leave your honorable mentions or your top 10 best segments and worst segments of all time in the description box. I'm sorry, in the comment section down below. And guys, be sure to always click my like and subscribe to content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAir93. Again, the plan for the weekend: NXT review late on Saturday night again because I have to work Saturday. Again, hopefully we still get photos with the snow. And then of course Sunday Survivor Series review as well. I'm going to try to play the next gate for Hitler the Ninth Gate tonight, and I'm going to definitely do more of my video game stuff tomorrow. Monday, again, I will not be able to review Raw because I'll be visiting some friends. I will be able to review SmackDown on Tuesday, though, live. I'll be able to watch SmackDown live on Tuesday. I start my holiday job on Wednesday. I have the orientation Wednesday afternoon, and then I'm not sure what my schedule's going to be for it after that, but so I know that I start that on Wednesday. So once again, guys, things may be a little goofed up for next month or so while I work this holiday job, just to get extra money for myself, since it's not going to be that busy for wedding season. So just be patient with me about that. And then most likely also, I'd say special live stream starting next week for a while will be moved to Fridays. I mean, unless if I'm not working Thanksgiving night, because I have Thanksgiving at of course, here with my family. We eat for lunch because most of my family have other places to go in the evening for Thanksgiving with their other parts of their families. So, I mean, I used to go to my girlfriend's house to have Thanksgiving after that, but I'm not with her anymore, of course. This is the second year in a row with the Brad case, of course. But anyways, not let me talk about that. But so if I'm not working Thursday night, I'll probably just do the special live stream Thursday. But again, I'm probably working some Thursday nights though while I'm working this holiday job again, and it's with Amazon also. So if you guys send anything to Pittsburgh, I may touch your stuff. But that sounded weird. And of course, just stay tuned also for the NXT UK 205 Live and NXT reviews next week as well. And I will try to do also my TLC predicted match card as well. Which again, give it some views, guys. My Survivor Series match cards didn't even have 50 views yet. My NXT TakeOver War Games one almost has 1,000, which I was happy about that. But the highest I've gotten views for match cards this year was 4.5 thousand. My Backlash card. My highest is still my Roadblock End of the Line card. I got 40,000 views on it, guys. But yeah, I mean, and this is going to get to 1,000 subscribers this year. So there's always next year, guys. But just keep subscribing to my channel, liking my videos, supporting me as always. Whatever type of content you enjoy watching. I do 50,000 content on this channel, but just what I do. So, guys, thank you as always for supporting me. I'm checking out. I'm probably going to try to play Hitler the Ninth Gate before I go to bed. I'll see you guys all whenever my next stream. Next stream will definitely be Saturday for NXT TakeOver War Game. So, enjoy that, guys. So, until then, guys, I'm checking out. Have a great rest of your night, and let's get to war. Peace out, everybody.